a little test video this week in the studio, and it seemed to work out pretty well. So we're going to try it again for Tuesday Talk. Now, if you come on, you can say hi, but I might not see you tonight. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be able to see comments. So if you comment on anything tonight, I will surely check those comments later and catch up with you. So what we're doing tonight is we are going to paint a Christmas chair because we're kicking off Christmas in July week at La Vintage Decor. So I already put a coat of paint on this chair in red, and I'm just gonna put this down a little bit so you can see. We're going to be using a couple different products tonight. So I put a coat of Barn Red on the chair, and it's just one coat, and it's not a really solid coat, and I may be okay with that in some places because I plan on using a lot of dark wax on this and making it really rustic looking. So there's that, and then we're going to use a little bit of Sawmill Gravy, and then we're going to use some Evergreen. We're also planning a stencil on the chair, and I'm going to go ahead and get started because I want this one section to dry so we can do a little more design on it. So I'm going to put that camera up so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to start with the Sawmill Gravy. So I don't know whether you can see it very well, but there's an outline of a section in there. I don't have a whole lot of Sawmill Gravy, but that is okay. I should have grabbed my plastic bag too. So I'm working at a weird angle, so we'll see how this goes. I might have to get a little closer here. So hang tight, and hopefully I won't knock the camera over. So I hope you are all doing well. Okay, here we go. That's a little better. I had a very fun day today. Went with my friend to IKEA, and we're probably going to have a video of all that fun that we had today. On Thursday. I actually had a whole fun week, so it's going to be a video that I do some shopping and pick up some things for some flips. So Saturday step by step might be some small projects this time. I got a little bit on there. That's okay. I just want to get this coat on, and then we can come back, and I might add a little more of the Barn Red. Not 100% sure. I could use a smaller brush here, I do know that. But I'm going to try to get this corner. Get it, and then I will touch this up. Meanwhile, I'll get the worst of it off with my fingers. So IKEA is in Pittsburgh, so that's a couple hours from me, so I just got back pretty much in time to eat a little dinner and be here with you. So we ate at a really good restaurant today. It's called Burgatory. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it was delicious. Delicious. I had a hamburger that was 50% bacon and 50% hamburger. 100% amazing, let me tell you that. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of paint down here, and I'm just going to wipe it back, but I'll be touching it up for sure. Maybe I should use a paper towel. What do you think? That's okay, we'll get it cleaned up. I love the color Sawmill Gravy. I think it is such a pretty color. Okay, so I have a couple brushes here, so I'm going to grab another one and do some evergreen. I'm going to keep, not sure which brush to use. Big decision. So I'm going to do some of this green. Okay, so my thought was to do this part of the chair and then this part and this part. So I guess I'll be, yeah, I think that's the plan. Sometimes it's hard to know exactly what to do, but you know, you make up as you go along, right? I love evergreen. I think it is like a really pretty Christmas green. I was tempted to do this chair in red and mermaid tail, which is a really cool turquoise color, and that's kind of, I was picturing this area to be like vintage Santa Claus, but then I decided, no, let's go traditional. But that might happen for some upcoming projects, because I think that's a really cool vintage look. Okay. I think this chair is going to be really cute. Super cute, as everybody says. It's one of those phrases that gets worked over sometimes, don't you think? Somebody on Facebook posted the other day, and it had so many responses. Like, what expression are you sick of hearing? Something like that. There were so many responses. Like things that are pet peeves that people say. I'm okay with super cute. My answer was, like misspellings when people say that they're a part. They're happy to be a part of something, but they spell it A-P-A-R-T instead of two words, a part. Anyway, that's just my little thing. So I'm kind of just doing this front section here because like the side here is red, and I think I'll leave it like that. But now I need to touch up my white section because I got green on the white section. But that's the way touch-ups go. But I'm just going to let it go right now. And I am going to grab the red and I'm going to touch up. You can't probably see it very well, but there's like little areas that I think just need a little touch up. So I'm just going to grab the red, or a brush for the red. And now is probably a good time for me to pull this seat off here. And as soon as I touch this up, then I'm going to tell you about the seat. Because I actually forgot this area. I forget that a lot. I'm going to put this down a little bit so you can see. See my dog Grizz over there laying on the couch. He's taking it easy tonight. I don't blame him, you know? These days when it's warm, he's a hot dog. Okay, so I just wanted to get a little paint down there. And I'm not going to really give it a full, touching up a little bit there. I'm not going to give it a full other coat, because like I said, I'm going to be using dark wax. So, you know, there's really no point in going all over all that again. Now I'm going to have to touch that up, see how that goes. Okay, but I want to get these areas over here because there was like white paint on this. So, you know, obviously it's a vintagey chair. I didn't have to do any repairs to it. But I did take the seat cushion off because it was a recovered cushion from a long time ago. Okay, so let's talk about the rest of the design of the chair. I'm gonna move this over a little bit. So now that we have some paint on here to dry a little bit, so we're gonna work on the seat. Now I want to tell you about this. Isn't this wood beautiful? So I took all of the upholstery off of there, and when a chair is in good shape and it's this thick, I like to leave the wood. I just think you can do so much more with it, especially like a vintage chair. Now obviously if you were redoing dining room chairs, that wouldn't be ideal, but this is, I think is pretty cool. So I'm gonna set it down in here. Now I'll attach it later. Lots of times too, if it still has the holes from like whatever upholstery, I'll get those upholstery tacks and put them, just pound them in there, and it looks really cool, like studs. So, but anyway, sometimes I'll even flip it because I think it looks cool, like kind of industrial, because it has the factory writing on there. I wish I could decipher what exactly that means. You know what? It's 3-25. Maybe that means this chair was made in March of 1925. That'd be pretty cool because my mom was born in 1925. But anyway, I'm going to put this back in place and just set it on here. And I have this stencil. This is actually a JRV stencil. And boy, I'm really torn as to how I want to, what colors I want to do. It might seem really natural, but I guess that's what I'm going to do, is just go with the colors. Because originally I thought this looks kind of industrial, maybe I'll use black letters, and then I thought I'll use all white and put something colorful up here, but I'm really, you know, I think I'm just going to bring all the color on it. Now I'm still torn about what's going to happen up there, so maybe you can offer an opinion and help me out. But I'm going to bring this a little closer, I think, and tilt it down a little bit. Okay, and hopefully you can see that. I'm going to get some tape on here. I want to get it centered and get some tape on here. So previously, I used, I guess, some red paint here and some green paint. Get this a little bit closer. Okay. So first of all, let me get the stencil on here. I want to center it. I'm just using some painter's tape. Oh, I want to tell you about this seat. So, like I said, the grain on it I love. I think it's really pretty. So what I did was I used Howdy Do hemp seed oil from Dixie Belle, and this conditions wood. So if you want to bring back the life in the wood, just put it on there, and then you wipe it back and you just let it sit, and you come back again, and if there's still oil left on there, or I mean if it's dry, then hit it again with the oil, and keep doing that until it leaves some oil laying on the table or whatever you're doing, because at that point in time, then it's kind of drank in as much oil as it needs. So it's really cool stuff. It tells you when to stop. So I'm kind of just guessing here, just eyeballing it to make it even, and I'm using painter's tape. But I only needed one coat of that Howdy Do hemp seed oil. And hemp seed oil is food safe. So you can eat off my little chair now. Not that you want to, but just saying. Ah, I don't think tape is wanting to stick to the oil. Okay, we'll get it along the side here. Yeah, it really isn't sticking at all. So, stick it down over the, wow, that's kind of funny. And it doesn't feel oily though, so that doesn't make sense, but we will get it. Okay, so I don't have black for the wheels, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my red brush, and I just had a little bit of paint on there, and I'm just going to use it. I did bring a brush for stenciling, but you know what? I'm just going to use this because I already had red paint on it, and I'm not going to worry about it being perfect. I do wish I had some black though, but you know what? I'm going to cover it all in the red right now, and then I'm going to go over that with a little green and see what happens, and then maybe I can also put some wax in there. Well, it turns green. That's what happens. Well, let's get the tree. Tree in the back of the truck here. Okay, and well, there's some holly leaves here, and I didn't get the berries. Okay, where's my sawmill gravy brush? There we go. Okay, I'm going to do this pine, spruce, and fir down here at the bottom in the sawmill gravy. I'm going to hold on to that because of it not sticking really well. And I think I'm going to do the Farm Fresh and, well, and the snowflakes in the white. This is a really cute stencil. So JRV is Jamie Ray Vintage, and they have an awesome channel. They have all kinds of cool stuff. And of course I am using Dixie Belle paint. Alright, so I just have this Merry Christmas to do, and I think I will do that in the green as well. Before I lift this stencil, I think I'm going to try something a little crazy, because I want to use dark wax on this. I'm just going to dab this just to make sure there's not any real wet paint on there. And I actually have my stencil brush, or my La Petite brush, which I use for wax. It's pretty dark, so I'm just going to go over the tire right now and see if I can get the look that I'm wanting. And I think that's working. Alrighty, are you ready for the big reveal on the seat? Let's hope for a good image here. So it should be okay to move because we used such a little amount of paint. And of course these stuck. All right, that is cute. Super cute. Let me get this off of here. And I just need to touch up this little, the top of the truck, although it kind of looks, oh, so I'm using more white. Kind of looks like there's snow on it, but I'm just going to touch that up a little bit. Okay. Alright, and I filled in a little bit of that line there, but I think it's cute. Farm Fresh. Alright. So that's what we got going on so far. So up here, I was thinking I'd like to see a little bit of design. And what I had considered was to turn the tree and just do the tree in the middle. Oh, I guess I better put this up so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this area in here, that's what I'm wondering what to do with that. So considering putting this tree in here, now that we'll have to fill some of it in. So we're just going along for the ride here. We're just going to be adventurous, right? And do, and it's moving. Okay, I'm just holding it, and I'm doing it really lightly because the white paint is still kind of wet, and that's okay. We're just going for a real light image here, and I may have to flip this stencil around to do the other part of the tree. Probably gonna make a mess, but hey, my impatience is always gonna get the best of me. What do you think? I think it's kind of cute. I kind of like it. Okay, I'm gonna put this down here so I don't get anything on there. Now obviously I'm gonna have to touch up a little bit around here. Touch that up. Do a little touching up in here. I kind of like it. It's just simple. But what I think is going to be cool is when I get the wax on there. So we're going to have to let that dry a little bit. But let's talk about another design detail. I have these things, and I'll show you what these things are. I just got these from Wish, and I guess I need to turn this whole thing around and put this down. How about I come down here? Sorry. Me and the old knees. It takes a hot minute here. So speaking of Wish, we are now a Wish pickup at the store. So if you're in Altoona and you order Wish, you can pick it up at the store. So that's new. Okay, so these little things, and they're, excuse me, nameplates. So I thought that might be a cool design detail to put on the chair, either here or up here. Now, that looks cool, and it would have to be white in the middle. I don't know what it'll say in the middle, but I think it would be cute. I mean, I don't want to say Santa or anything like that, but it could be Santa's chair, maybe. Alright, I have to think about that. So anyway, it may not happen, but I think it's a cute little detail that I think would look good. So, so while we're doing that, I'm gonna back this up a little and put it down somewhat. And I would like to do a few details on the front here, on these little rungs. So I'm gonna get my green, and let's see. Let's make this easy because I don't have a teeny tiny brush. So this is already red. So we can do a little green here, and then we can do a little bit of the sawmill gravy in here. Except we don't have to make it so that it's like each line or anything. We can do a couple of these at a time. So let's just do in here. Like I said, don't have a tiny brush, so I can come back later and do a little more detail on it, but I just want to give you the idea of what it's going to look like. So I'll just do a little bit of it. So if you've ever seen Mackenzie Childs, they do a lot of furniture pieces where all of the little turns in the furniture is different colors. I'll definitely come in and touch this up later, but I just want to give you an idea. And then this is going to be so cute with wax on it. So lately I am in this dirt kick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Not really garden dirt, but it's Dixie dirt. Everything I've been doing lately, I've been putting the dirt on. I'm just so into it. So I'm just going to do that little side. Well, maybe I'll come over there and do that one. Maybe I'll turn the chair a little bit so it's closer to me. And can you still see? I think so. Okay, so I came down off of that first rung. Wait. Yeah, I did the wide. It's terrible. So, okay, not that one. So I got a little bit down there, so I'll be touching that up with the red. But I just want to give you guys an idea of what this will look like. And I didn't use my plastic bags here for the brushes, so I just don't want to put my foot in it. So, yeah, okay. I keep looking at them like, which way is that going to go? Okay, so again, I'm not being neat, but I'm going to come back. But I just want you guys to get the idea of what this chair is going to look like. Alright, so back up here. So as far as I'm concerned, the seat's done and it just needs attached. I might go over this stencil a little bit with a little bit of sandpaper and distress it a little bit. That always looks kind of cool. It just kind of makes it look like that was always on there and not just put on there. So it's actually probably okay to do it now, because you use such little bit of paint when you stencil that it's dry. Okay, so if you can see that, it just kind of makes those letters just a little bit more, it just doesn't look like they were just painted. And I like that. So I think that turned out pretty good. Alright, so let's see how this feels here. Pretty good. There's a little bit here. Okay, there's another detail that I want to do. And I'll be doing more of that down there later as well. I have a really tiny brush here, and I have Gemstone Mousse in Golden Gem. And I'm just gonna stir it up a little bit. I think I grabbed the wrong one. This one's a little, this one could use a little drop of water in it, I think. Because you can do that. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try something different. I have some Best Dang wax here, or Easy Peasy spray wax rather. I'm just gonna put a little squirt of that in there. I'm a rebel, I know. I just need to get it a little bit softer. Okay, so it just kind of looks like a little waxy in there, but I'm just using a detail brush And I just want to go in these areas here with that gold. Now, I'm not seeing that too well. I really ought to mix some water in here with this. You always want to stir this stuff up, but when it does get a little too dried up, I had 2 jars and this one's a little bit dried up. Trying a little more wax in there. I don't think that's a bad thing because everything's water-based. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, I'll just, show you what it looks like later, of course. But I just want to go in this little groove spot with this detail brush and get some of that gold in there. Okay, I'm seeing it. I doubt that you're able to see it. Oh, but that's so cute. I love this brush for this. It's just this little teeny tiny thing. But I did this on a dresser that had like little grooves like this and did the gemstone mousse in there, and it really worked out well. To me, it like makes it look like a postcard almost. Now, I still got some of that sawmill gravy in there, so the last time I tried using the hair dryer, when I had the air conditioner on and the light, we blew a fuse, so we're not going to do that tonight. So that's why I'm a little impatient for things to dry. But being so hot and using such a little bit of paint, it is drying pretty quickly. But like I said, I'll go back later and make sure that it's, the way I want it to look. So yeah, I kind of messed that up there, but that's okay. We can touch it up. We will touch it up. Right. So, I want to do some wax. Let me close up some of my paint here. I think this is going to be really cute. I like that part on the back. It kind of reminds me of an old postcard or something. Okay, so I'm not going to do too much just because of the fact that the paint's not super duper dry, but so I am going to show you what I want to do though in some of these detailed areas though. So this is good. This is Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax in Brown. So I'm going to use that with the La Petite brush. And I have some Dixie Dirt here. And like I said, I'm obsessed with this lately. I have the charcoal color, which is really dark. So it looks like, ashes. Put this in place a little better. And I think I'm going to glue that down as well as it came with screws. So I just want to be careful with the screws because the screws were probably designed to also go up into upholstery. So I don't want it to pierce through the chair seat because there's no upholstery on it. Okay, so this is the wax, and I'm just putting this brush down in here. And I'm just going to do a little bit of the detail because like this is dry up here. I'm going to put this down, or put this up a little so you can see it. I hope. I'll try that. But, so I'm just going in here with the wax. Now I did bring the Easy Peasy spray wax, because I actually meant to spray that first, but I didn't. But if you get too much wax on, you can actually use it as kind of an eraser. But this is why I only put one coat of paint on, because I knew I wanted to kind of heavily wax this. So I'm just going to kind of go around all these areas and just make it look really old. Okay, I'm loving this already. Just doing some of these corners around here. Okay, of course we're going to be doing all over the chair. We're going to be doing in these corner areas and everything. Okay, so let me show you the dirt then. Okay, so I'm going to use it like up under here a little bit. So, or maybe down here so you can see it a little better. But I'm just going to put my brush right in the tip right in that dirt and just kind of get some of it off of there. And then I just kind of jam it right in that corner, and it is indeed like dirt. I mean, it just puts that dirt just kind of where you want it. I just, like I said, I love it. It just gives that dark, it just adds a little bit, something extra to that wax. So I like to use it like in places where dirt would naturally gather. And it just looks cool. So there's also like some detail up at the top here that you probably can't see really well. So I'm going to continue working with that. But and another thing I'll be doing, and I'll put this back a little bit so you can see. Back and down a little. Hope I'm not making anybody seasick tonight. I apologize, but isn't this better though, this setup? I hope it works out okay. Like I said, I can't see. It doesn't look like anybody's actually on, made comments, but sometimes I get viewers later, most of the time on mine. I wasn't able to put this out ahead of time, like as a premiere or anything, or share it on social media, so I still need to learn how to use this program. But so anyway, I'm going to do some wax in here, and I know I just painted that, but I'm not going to go over the green, but I just want to show you how this wax is going to look. I might do another area of green down here and paint, so I'm not going to keep waxing down there, but I'm going to then bring back some of this, wipe back some of this wax, so it just kind of stays in there. But that again is where the dirt looks really cool when you put it in there. So it definitely looks like an old chair. And if you don't like that, if it's too much, you see, you can spray a little bit of the Easy Peasy on there. Actually, I got most of it down there. Let me spray a little bit up here and wipe some of it back. And it'll kind of take some of that off. Okay. Now I did get a little dirt on my truck, which is okay. I think I'll just kind of brush it around a little bit. Just to make it look a little bit older. Alright, well, I'm definitely going to continue. There's a lot of details down here. There's a detail area that matches kind of like what's up the top. And I'll definitely keep painting with the chair. And sorry, trying to get this thing right. Well, I'm so glad you joined me tonight. And sorry if it's kind of a brief evening, but I'll keep working on this wonderful chair. And don't forget to look on Instagram and you'll see the update. And I do hope you join us for our Christmas in July this Saturday if you're local. But we'll be making lots of posts. So I hope you have a great rest of your week. And don't forget to tune in on Thursday for more about decor. And on Saturday for Step by Step. I think we're going to do something different this Saturday and do some of the flips from the shopping that I did this week. So some hacks and some flips coming up. All right, take care. Have a great night. Bye.